A letter lies unopened on an antique desk in Windsor. Outside, the autumn wind rustles through the gardens. The royal family, still outwardly united, has endured 3 years of silence, tension, and public wounds. But now, something is stirring, quietly, carefully, behind palace doors. It's not a press release, not a public apology, just a name whispered by insiders: Project Thaw. Before we begin, there's something I need to share with you. Thousands have been watching these royal stories unfold, but most haven't subscribed. If you're one of them, I invite you now to join us. Subscribe to Crownverse so you never miss a chapter in this evolving royal drama. The phrase itself isn't official. It hasn't appeared in court documents, statements, or interviews. But several recent reports, all from unnamed palace sources, suggest that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are preparing a slow, deliberate effort to reconnect with the royal family. It's been dubbed Project Thaw by those following it closely. And while no one inside Buckingham or Montecito has confirmed the name, the signs point to a subtle shift in strategy. This isn't a reconciliation in the style of a grand reunion or tearful meeting. Instead, it appears to be an approach defined by small gestures, a private call, a message relayed through mutual friends, a toned-down public appearance. The aim? To ease the deep frost that's settled between the Sussexes and the rest of the royal institution, since their 2020 departure and subsequent interviews, books, and statements. One of the early clues came when Prince Harry traveled to London briefly in early 2025 for a charity event. He did not appear publicly with any senior royal, and there were no photos of him near Windsor or Clarence House. But insiders noted the tone of his speech: respectful, less pointed, and more focused on shared values than personal grievances. Some read this as a recalibration, a first step. Meghan, too, has reportedly been more cautious in recent interviews. Once more vocal about her experience within the monarchy, she has in recent months pivoted toward broader topics: motherhood, mental health, global initiatives. She no longer uses the titles of senior royals. She speaks less of what went wrong and more of what lies ahead. It could be coincidence, or it could be strategy. But what exactly would Project Thaw involve? Sources close to the royal household suggest that it may begin with logistics, not emotions. Courtiers have allegedly begun considering how, if at all, Harry and Meghan might appear at future royal events, particularly those involving the king or their children's grandparents. There's no talk of full reinstatement, no discussions of returning to working royal life, but there is, reportedly, a willingness to explore visibility without duty, presence without titles. And that's the distinction that matters. For the monarchy, optics are everything. Any step toward reunion would need to balance public perception with institutional stability. A casual reunion could be read as weakness, a cold shoulder as cruelty. That's why thaw, not reunion, may be the operative metaphor. This is about easing the ice, not melting it entirely. It's important to note, none of this is confirmed by palace officials. No spokesperson has acknowledged any reconciliation plan. Kensington Palace and Clarence House remain silent, and Harry and Meghan's representatives have issued no comment. That silence, however, is not unusual. The royal family often operates behind closed doors, only acknowledging change after it's been carefully stage-managed. What adds weight to the theory is the timing. King Charles, now into his 3rd year on the throne, has begun solidifying the monarchy's public image. Camilla has taken on new ceremonial roles. William and Kate are increasingly seen as the face of modern royal life. The working monarchy is smaller and more vulnerable than ever before. In that context, a reconciliation, however modest, could serve both sides. For Harry and Meghan, a return to some form of contact with the royals could ease the tension that has shadowed their public life. For the institution, it might soften criticism of its treatment of the couple, especially in the wake of past interviews discussing mental health and alleged racism. But it's not without risk. There remains deep skepticism, both inside the palace and among the public. Some insiders reportedly fear that any private interactions could be turned into content, that reconciliation could be followed by another documentary, that private moments might be recounted in future memoirs. Trust, once broken, is hard to rebuild, especially when the damage was so public. Then there is the question of William. The relationship between the two brothers, once the heart of the modern monarchy, is widely believed to be near total collapse. No verified meeting has taken place between them in years. William reportedly feels betrayed by Harry's revelations and has little interest in repairing the bond, at least for now. Any Thaw would need to navigate this personal fracture with extraordinary care. And what of Charles? The king has, according to royal observers, maintained a more flexible posture. He is said to miss his son, to want peace, but he also understands the stakes. His reign is still taking shape. His legacy is being written in real time. He cannot afford missteps. That's why any steps toward Harry and Meghan must appear measured, justified, and most of all, quiet. There is one more layer. The children. Archie and Lilibet remain largely absent from public life in the UK. Any steps toward reconciliation may include discussions around how and whether the young Sussexes connect with their royal cousins, grandparents, and great-uncles. Titles have already been granted. The legal standing is clear. But the personal relationships, that's a different story. So what happens now? If Project Thaw exists, it is likely still in its earliest stages. It may never unfold publicly. It may succeed quietly or collapse in silence. The monarchy has always preferred its drama behind closed doors, and the Sussexes, for all their openness, have shown signs of strategic restraint. But the very possibility of thaw, of movement, however slow, tells us something vital. This story isn't finished. Royal history is full of ruptures and reconciliations, of siblings divided and reunited, of silence followed by sudden gestures of peace. And if the Cold War between the Sussexes and the Windsors is beginning to warm, even slightly, then we are witnessing not a dramatic climax, but a carefully orchestrated opening act. For now, there is no official statement, no photo opportunity, no shared holiday. Just a few small signs, a softer tone, a quiet visit, a pause in the accusations, and the name, whispered, not announced, that captures it all. Project Thaw. If you enjoyed this journey into the hidden world of the Crown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us here on Crownverse, where royal history lives on.